What up, everybody? This is Jonathan Evans, and today I want to know, are you a part of the societal Ponzi scheme? Let's get into it. Listen to me now. There's a verse in the Bible that we use for kids all the time, but we need to understand that this is for your good. This is for your blessing. This is for your whole life. When I played football, there was something that we had to have as a part of that game in order for the game to happen. In the Super Bowl, there's something that they have to have in that game in order for the game to happen. In order for them to have an experience, in order for the NFL to exist, in order for the stadiums, the coaches, all of the contracts, in order for all the players to have an opportunity to play at that level, for dreams to be accomplished, for all of the blessings and all of the things that you see around the league and in the league, and even you gathering with your friends to watch football with the wings and the fries and the sweet tea and the lemonade, it's contingent upon one thing. You know what that one thing is? It's a football. Without the football, nothing. $1 billion industry collapses. There is no Super Bowl. There is no trophy. There is no GOAT. There is no Tom Brady. There is no gatherings at your house. Everything goes away when that football goes away because that game is contingent upon that small thing. How can something so small carry something so big? And that's what I want to tell you today, because this is something that I'm going to give you that you think is totally small. You think you're not even thinking about it. Maybe you give it to kids every now and then to teach them how to share. But God is saying this is the entire game of your life. This is the entire blessing. And it's found in Luke 6:31. Watch this, because you're going to think it's small. Treat others the way you want to be treated. What? You done went through all that to talk to us about the golden rule? Yes. Yes, because Galatians 5:14 says the entire law is in this one statement. Love your neighbor as yourself. Understand that the entire law of God is love God and love others. If you don't get this down, there is no game to be played. If you don't get this down, you're missing out on tons of blessings in your life. If you don't get this down, then the favor of God will be subtracted from you and not with you. If you don't get this small truth, and when Jesus said it in Luke 6, he was not talking to kids, he was talking to adults, because he was looking at his disciples and letting them know this is the way that it has to go down. The whole law is wrapped into love God and love others. What am I talking about? The law, the 10 commandments. Thou shalt have no other gods before me. Love God. Thou shalt not make unto thee any graven images. Love God. Thou shalt not take the name of the Lord thy God in vain. Love God. Remember the Sabbath day and keep it holy. Love God. Watch this. Honor your father and your mother. Love man. Thou shalt not commit adultery. Love man. Thou shalt not steal. Love man. Thou shalt not kill. Love man. Thou shalt not bear false witness against thy neighbor. Love man. Thou shalt not covet thy neighbor's house or anything that is thy neighbor's. Love man. The entire law, it boils down to this. Don't have to think too hard. You just have to love God and love man. Now I'm going to tell you why that's important, because God says, those who obey my law, it will be well with you. Your days will be prolonged in the land. He says that your future will be taken care of. He says that I'll be with you, that you'll be my people and I will be your God. The favor of God will be in your life. Deuteronomy 33, Deuteronomy 6, Luke 11:28 says, those who hear my word and keep it, they are the one who's blessed. Psalm 128 says, if you walk in the fear of the Lord and you fear him, walk in his ways, you will be blessed. You'll eat the fruit of your hands. You will be happy and it will go well with you. All of that wrapped into that kindergarten verse. That kindergarten verse is the whole game. It's your whole life wrapped into how you're able to treat others. What are you doing for others? And by the standard that you want to receive for yourself is by the standard in which you give to others. If you want forgiveness, you give forgiveness. If you want mercy, you give mercy. If you want to be pardoned, you pardon others. If you don't want to be condemned, don't condemn others. If you want something, respect, love, you want all of these things, the question is, what are you giving? You see, most people, what they do is they create a list of expectations of what they want the other person to give them. But what Jesus is saying, no, I need you to create the list of expectations and let that be the fuel for the list that you want to give somebody else. Your list of expectations is only supposed to fuel your giving. It's not supposed to just fuel your receiving, like a kid on Christmas. And that's what most of us are. We think it's a kid's verse, and we're just like the kids that we think the verse is for, because we don't want to share the list of expectations we have for someone else with someone else. We just want to create it and we want to receive it. And God is saying, you're missing out on me. You're missing out on me in your life. You're missing out on the blessings because I'm just doing to you what you do to others. Give nothing. We don't give anything. And our society is a social Ponzi scheme. Everybody is just trying to have people in their circle who can be a filter to make them look better. Everybody is just trying to have somebody in their circle, and we've got a lot of things coming to us, but nothing coming through us. Everybody is just trying to be the crab in the bucket to step on somebody else, to get a little bit higher, to get away from the heat. Whatever it is that can soothe me and take me to the next level, those are the type of people I want around me. And I'm not saying that in and of itself, having the right people is bad. I'm saying if that is what everybody's thinking, you have a social Ponzi scheme because nobody is investing in the life of anybody else. And eventually that will collapse and fall apart. He's saying, listen, if you want to experience me, then somebody in this equation has to be a giver. Somebody in this equation has to be thinking way beyond themselves. Somebody in this equation has to be thinking, let me create a list of what I want to give. Let me create a list not only of what I want to receive, but what I want to shell out. Otherwise, the whole thing falls apart. And Jesus is letting you know, listen, if you obey my word and you keep my commands, it's all fit into how you love other people. It's all in the same pot, because my grace to you is interesting. You don't want to give that to anybody else. My mercy for you, that's interesting, that you don't want to give it to anybody else. My forgiveness for you, that's interesting, that you don't want to give it to anybody else. As if you're more worthy of a gift from me than they are of a gift from you. I'm perfect giving to a sinner. You're a sinner giving to a sinner. How is it that they don't deserve it, but you deserve it from me? The question is, do you understand that the blessing coming from God has to do with what he watches you doing on the field of play? And he gives you every opportunity, because we live in the life with people, and we live in this life with people who we like. We live in this life with people who we don't. We live in this life with people who hurt us. We live in this life with people who harmed us. We live in this life with people who we feel like don't deserve forgiveness. We live in this life with people who we feel like don't deserve many other things we already received. But again, we're receivers. Nobody's a quarterback. Nobody wants to throw the ball. Everybody just wants to receive it, and therefore there is no game. I mean, if you want to have a game, you might need the football and somebody to throw it. Somebody to give. What's your list look like? Because most of our marriages and relationships are falling apart because there's two takers. And whenever you have two takers, you just have two people that feel like they're getting robbed. But whenever you have two givers, you automatically have two receivers. That's why the Bible says it's better for you to give than it is for you to receive. Where are the givers at? The whole game is in this one law. Treat others the way you want to be treated. Listen, be steadfast, unmovable, always abound in the work of the Lord, and know that it will not go in vain. Your blessing rests in what I just said. Now listen, my next episode, we're going to keep talking about this because I got more to take you a little bit deeper. So let's go. Like, share, subscribe, ring the bell so you don't miss the next episode, and leave a comment. What's your list? What are you giving? Let's go. Hey, what up, everybody? Listen, be a part of the family, subscribe, ring the bell, get more videos like this, because we want to take it to the next level and we want to do it together as a family. Make sure you leave your comments. Let's grow.